Thomas the Hitman Hearns. Wonderful, wonderful fighter. Let's look at his record. Now, Thomas the Hitman Hearns fought Hall of Famer Pipino Cuevas. Definitely a Hall of Famer. He's already in the International Boxing Hall of Fame as well as the World Boxing Hall of Fame. That was his first welterweight championship. Pipino Cuevas and Carlos Palomino were the two most dominant welterweights in the world at the time. Pipino Cuevas was the WBA World Welterweight Champion, and Carlos Palomino was the WBC World Welterweight World Champion. They are one of the longest reigning welterweight world champions with the greatest defenses that they had. So this is why they're in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He defeated Pipino Cuevas, knocking him out in the second round. Now, we are only talking about guys they defeat, so Sugar Ray Leonard is bypassed. Wilfredo Benitez. Wilfredo Benitez is in the Boxing Hall of Fame. He's a Hall of Famer. And he was a great defensive fighter. And, again, Thomas the Hitman Hearns defeated him. Roberto Duran is the third Hall of Famer that Thomas the Hitman Hearns defeated. He knocked him out. And so you have to consider Roberto Duran as the third Hall of Famer. Now, the fourth Hall of Famer that Thomas the Hitman Hearns defeated is Virgil Hill. Virgil Hill was a dominant light heavyweight champion, beating guys like Donnie Lalonde. He beat guys like Leslie Tiger Stewart. And Thomas the Hitman Hearns, he was able to defeat him in his career. So he's 4 Hall of Famers there. Of course, you must also notice that he won 2 divisions. We talked about super welterweight. Okay. He also beat a pretty solid light heavyweight in Dennis Andrews. Dennis Andrews was a light heavyweight champion multiple times. Very solid fighter. Okay, he wasn't the #1 light heavyweight champion in the world. But he was a solid. Then he also defeated James Kinchin. But this time, this guy was a contender, and he beat him for the super middleweight champion of the world, WBO. He was a contender. He wasn't the best super middleweight out there, but he was a contender, #1 contender. He also defeated Juan Domingo Roldan, who was contending again to get the WBC middleweight title. And he had been a #1 contender for a number of times. So those there are the 5 world championship levels he fought at. And he beat these 5 different opponents to get these world championships. And he has so far defeated 4 Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers. And we can progress further on. Iran Barkley defeated him, unfortunately, so we can't note Iran Barkley. There are no other Hall of Famers that he defeated, even though he had some minor belts at a higher weight class, which was cruiserweight. He never really fought the kind of level of competition at the world class level, at the world level after that. So his accomplishments were that he defeated 4 Hall of Famers or future Hall of Famers, and he also had divisional championships in 5 weight classes, world divisional championships from welterweight all the way up to light heavyweight. And the other great accomplishment that he made was he beat for championships 2 Hall of Famers in Wilfredo Benitez and in Pipino Cuevas. Okay? So that's his accomplishments. Now, when we look at Sugar Ray Leonard,